Hey sweethearts, I'm here with another spoopy video. Today I'm going to be talking about my personal paranormal experiences, some things that I've witnessed, some things that have happened to me, and some crazy stuff, because a lot of stuff happens out here in the Midwest that is very paranormal. Like I said in my haunted house video, Indiana is built on like this giant Indian burial ground because they just had to. So I've had a lot of crazy stuff happen to me. I told in my last video that I grew up in a haunted house. We own a haunted farm down way out in the sticks. This house that I live in now is haunted. I've seen some orbs floating around here. And also the land that our other house that we owned a house also that no one else had lived in, and it was also haunted. So that was crazy. Still, like, the land was haunted. But anyway, let's dive right in. When I was a kid, one of my most memorable moments was one time we had all gotten back from like the movies or something. I was probably about like 8 or 10. And I walk into our living room. I walk into the kitchen and all the lights are off in the house. It's nighttime, it's dark. And we had this air vent that didn't have a duct to it. It was just like the basement and then the air duct, and you could see down into the basement from the air duct. And the light was shining up from the basement into the living room. And standing over the air vent, I saw a woman and 2 children holding hands with like their heads leaned back like this and like really old-timey clothes. And it really freaked me out when I first saw it. And then like I turned around to yell at my mom because I was just a little kid. I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. And I turned back and of course it was gone. But I was like, what the heck was that? So I saw 3 figures in that house when I was a child. In this house, it's on 400 South in Franklin, Indiana. And the locals know what street that is. It's the Indian grave in the middle of the road. It's like one of Indiana's urban legends. I lived right down the street from this. Like, seriously, I lived on this road, and I could walk to this graveyard. And what it is, it's not really a graveyard, it's a grave. We all thought it was one grave in the middle of the road on 400 South. And, like, the road split around it, but people kept, like, crashing their cars into it, so they recently redid it. And they had to, like, move the bodies because there was, like, bones sticking out of it. Indiana's a little messed up sometimes, okay? And once they dug out the body, they realized there were like 8 other bodies in there. Not like new bodies, but like 1800s bodies in the same grave. And we didn't know they were there. So it was a little amusement. 2 of those, I do believe, were children. So I probably saw, I think her name's Nancy Barnett. That's like her official grave, and everyone else that was buried in there wasn't accounted for. I'm assuming that was her and 2 other children that were buried there, but a little freaky. I mean, there's probably about 6 or 7, 8 or 8 missing people back in the 1800s that are now accounted for about 200 years later. Spooky. Spooky, spooky. And then also one day when I was down at our farm, I was cleaning, and I started experiencing some things. It was soon after my grandma had passed, and she had lived in that house. It was probably about 3 or 4 months after she had passed that I experienced this. I do believe that she is still there, because I've had more paranormal experiences happen to me over the years, because this is like 10 years ago. So I'm in the farmhouse, I'm cleaning, and I was using the vacuum cleaner. But then I go to put it back up in the broom closet, which is in like this entryway, like this square entryway. Here's the front door. Here's the broom closet. Here's like a hallway that leads down to the bedrooms. The other way leads into the kitchens and the living room. And so I put the vacuum cleaner away in this broom closet, and I go down to one of the bedrooms, and I start cleaning in there when I hear like a banging noise. And I poke my head down the hallway, and I see that the vacuum cleaner has rolled out of the broom closet. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I must not have latched the door. It must have fell in the door. So I go down, I put it back in the broom closet, I shut the door, and then I go back into the kitchen, which is the opposite way of the bedrooms that I had been, and I hear the banging noise again. I'm like, what the heck? And then the vacuum cleaner, once again, is out of the closet. So I'm like, okay, something's something's going on here. So I put it back into the back of the closet where it wouldn't fall out. I lodged it in there pretty well. I shut the door, and this time I go downstairs. And I hear the biggest boom in my life. It was like right above me because I was right under, probably around the same area, right underneath the broom closet. And I just hear, like all the banging and crashing noise. I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I go back up there. Once again, the vacuum cleaner is out of the closet. And there was a mop and bucket out. And it was like in the middle of the floor too. Like the mop and bucket was in the middle of the square floor, with the mop sticking out of the bucket, like it was placed there by someone. And the vacuum was all the way across the room in front of the front door at this point. And I know it wasn't like my dad messing with me or anyone. First off, my dad and I were the only ones there, and he was out in the fields cutting down trees. He was like out in the forest being a forest man, and I was just in there cleaning, and this is happening to me. The house is built on the hill. I try to account for drafts, but no draft is going to push a mop and bucket out of a closet into the middle of a room and have it stand perfectly still. I could understand if like maybe it was knocked over, but it was standing straight up. So I do believe that was my grandma told me I better not put that vacuum away because I'm not done. That's kind of like a silly one. Like, she's not like haunting. I guess it's like a haunting, but she's like a helpful ghost or a strict ghost. Like, you're not done cleaning, girl. You better get your butt into gear. This next one was super spooky. My friend, I was spending the night at a friend's house. It was probably 14, 15 at this time. And we were sleeping in the same bed, because that's what girls do. And her TV was right in front of the bed. And here's the bed, I guess. We're probably a good 2 or 3 feet away from, probably about 5 feet away from the TV. And it was morning. I was just waking up. It was probably about 9, 10 in the morning. And, we were just laying there chit-chatting. We didn't want to get out of bed. When we look at the TV, which is turned off, and the light's shining through to where it's illuminating the TV screen, but it's turned off. And we see something, like, coming towards us out of the TV, but there's nothing in the room. And then we see it, like, a shadow go on the floor through the TV. We see all of this through the TV. We don't see anything in the room. We see it like a figure kind of just appearing and, becoming bigger throughout the TV screen until it gets onto the floor, which is reflecting the bed. And we see it go under the bed in the reflection of the TV. Oh man, we jumped out of bed so fast. We went straight into the living room. That was a nope. Done. Oh my gosh, we were scared. We were shaking. We were like, okay, you know what? We're just going to get some breakfast and forget that. There's just a handful of some of my paranormal experiences. Some of my more memorable ones. I have had stranger things happen to me. Like, and I didn't mention anything that has happened in this house or in my other house that I just moved out of my parents with 3 years ago. I just moved out. I moved out 3 fucking years ago. So, those are some of my paranormal experiences. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If enough people like it and want to hear more, I will tell people more of my paranormal experiences. I have gone into some haunted houses, really just abandoned buildings out in the sticks. There's like an abandoned church I've been in, an abandoned school, abandoned house. There's this giant field where I've had some things happen to me. This is, once again, out in the sticks, where it used to be a house where like 8 or 7 kids or it was like 12 kids, and mom and dad lived there, and it burned to the ground and everyone died. And I've had some experiences in that field. They never rebuild it or anything. They don't mow it. They don't do anything with it. Like, we understand enough that field is haunted. We're not going to mess with it. Alright, y'all. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see more of these videos. Just tell me in the comment down below. Give me a thumbs down if you thought it was stupid. Also, you can subscribe to me here on YouTube. I am doing Vlogoween, which is, I'm trying to do a video every day. I've missed like 2 days, and I'm sorry. I feel so bad. I do have big plans coming up, though, for Vlogoween for you guys, my lovely followers. I do believe I have 83 subscribers now, and I can't tell you how thankful I am for all of you being here. Alright, y'all. Goodbye from the Midwest.